Some of the horses that got me where I am today. Um, Starting from the beginning, I would say, it's hard for me to remember some of the names from when I first started training, but, I had a mare, her name was a Tisco Babe, and one of those horses that was not really bred to do this and wasn't supposed to be a star, but and she wasn't a star, but I won a couple of novice horses with her, and it kind of got me noticed and kind of got me on to the next step of my career. That was when I was really first starting going to horse shows. So by today's standards, for sure, that mare she wouldn't have been special to anybody, but she was special to me because she was one of the first ones. So a Tisco Babe brought me to a point where I was still, in that day and age, I was still back, in the other divisions, in the limited division and some of the lower divisions. And that kind of brought me to another horse named Topsail Fiddle. And that was the first horse I really did well at the majors on. He was a great little horse and kind of propelled me on to bigger and better things. And that horse was a big part of the reason I got a job in Italy, and that helped me go to the next stage of my career. So when I got back from Italy, right away the first horse out of the box I bought was Little Rough Peppy, and that could not have worked out better because I just got back from Italy and I needed something for somebody to see me on here to kind of give me a boost. And Little Rough Peppy, I mean, people know the story on him now. He won a lot. He was in the finals of all the majors. I was second on him at the Derby, and he was just a special horse and a special sire. And now we're seeing him be, years and years later, we're seeing his daughters be such a big part of the industry. But Little Rough Peppy was he'll always probably be the horse to me from that time period because he was the first one that really stepped me up into to play with the big boys. And that shortly thereafter I had Smart Starbuck, another horse. Those two horses kind of came along at a similar time and really kicked off my whole career. And after that, Smartest Ciccolina, I won the NRBC on him, my first major event win. Conquistador Wiz, I took him to the first WEG games. So I mean, it's just been, I've really been fortunate to have a lot of special horses in my life. And lately, of course, Gunner Special Night, maybe the greatest show horse that I've ever been involved with. And also now the way he's siring, as good-minded as he was and as good as he showed, certainly I thought he was going to be a fantastic sire, but you never know that for sure because it doesn't always work that way. But it's just, he's been probably to this point in time in my life the most important horse just because he came along at a great time in my life. I kind of knew what to do with a great horse at that point in time, whereas some of the earlier horses, they were great, and I didn't have them as good as I thought they could be. And with Gunner Special Night, he was already a trained horse, and Marcy Vermeer trained him and showed him and did a fantastic job. But my experience with just showing, at the WEG level and showing some older horses and getting horses ready is, I wouldn't have been prepared for that horse 10 or 12 or 15 years ago. And, he came along at a perfect time. And if Gunner Special Night doesn't win the WEG, I don't know that his breeding career kicks off like it did. that WEG, winning the WEG, and that with that kind of run, I mean, he was fantastic in the individual goal of the WEG finals, and marked a 228 or 229, I can't remember, and was just spot on and looked really good that day. And you know, he kind of kicked off his whole breeding career, and that, in fact, it really drives our entire business, because, you know, he breeds well over 100 mares a year, and his colts are doing fantastic. So, I mean, that's, I'm sure I've forgotten a horse or two or three, but yeah, in fact, Wistar was another horse that was always right there for me. Danny Tremblay trained Wistar, and you know, that horse that was in all the finals. I missed the first time I showed him. I missed an open finals on him. After that, I mean, he was in the finals everywhere and won over 200,000. I mean, you know, the list is long, and I'm sure I'm going to miss some horses, but that's what, off the top of my head, what I can think of are the special ones.
Outsmart is an innovative fly spray that's powered by nature's technology, so it's plant-based and non-toxic, and it actually works. Outsmart is a really versatile fly spray in that it's effective at repelling houseflies, mosquitoes, and even ticks. In field trials, it was actually shown to repel some of the most common nuisance bugs for upwards of 5 hours with a single application. It's not only a great option for your horse, you can also feel good using it on yourself. Get yours today at smartpack.com.